to call the meeting to order. Everyone, thanks for being here. Good to see you officially. Do we want to approve? Can we approve? Do we have enough to approve the minutes, or do we have?
We don't. Let's go around and just state everybody's name who's here. I'll start with John Rushton.
Yes, I'm here.
Janie Wilson.
I'm here.
Elizabeth Rapetti.
I'm here.
And Dara Silver.
Here.
So we don't have a quorum, so we can't approve the minutes.
Okay.
But the reason why we're meeting in the middle of the month is to just kind of go over the public art plan. I did some edits on it since the last time you saw it, and the plan will be going to a public hearing on October 6th. So these edits are based on, a lot of them are just line edits and corrections and things like that. And some of them are things that came out of the public input meetings that we had in gosh, when were they? Were they in August? And some additions there. So I can share my screen and bring up
I've got it pulled up
here. The edited document. Here, that's the wrong one. Let's go back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Everybody see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll kind of scroll down and kind of go through bit by bit. This is the table of contents. The underlined stuff was added. Just some kind of corrections based, making sure that the table of contents matches the different section headers. I added page numbers. And let's see. Everybody see that? Is that big enough?
Yeah, see it fine. Plus I've got it.
Okay. Yeah. Same thing, tables and figures, page numbers. And then page 3, there's nothing. Page 4 is just kind of updating, we wanted to have captions under all the photos. And then most of these edits are just corrections and then additions, since we originally wrote the plan. We've done the artistic bus shelter program, and we've started looking for an artist for 4th Street. So just wanted to reflect that.
Good.
Some corrections, just room bookings have decreased. Hotels haven't closed because of the coronavirus. Somebody asked in one of the public comments, just, please say how Public Art Commission members are appointed or who they are exactly. So it just kind of says art professionals and community leaders.
That's good. Yeah.
This is Sarah. I have a question about table 1.
Yeah.
In terms of peer cities, I noticed that Raleigh is not on here, and they do have public art program that goes to their government.
We don't really consider Raleigh a peer city. Just
And I understand that. I don't know if maybe it could be something that could be separately noted, because I think, when we think about public art within the state and who's doing it and who's doing it well, Raleigh comes to mind as well as Charlotte. And I think there could be some kind of asterisk, maybe these are not peer cities in terms of budget, but it's, I think they're significant in terms of what they're doing when we look at it from a statewide perspective.
Okay. I can add them. Okay. Not sure how to figure out staff for Charlotte. Okay, that's fine.
Well,
Okay.
and I would also add Wilmington. I think they also have some public art program.
Yeah.
Again, I understand not pure city, but and asterisks and mark is appropriate.
If you're going to do that, do you need to add Asheville?
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Asheville in terms of, do they have it a line item, or do they have a percent for public art?
I'm not either. I'm just thinking that we think of Asheville from a tourism standpoint as such a competition.
I think the problem with, it says peer cities and it references cities that are not in North Carolina. So it would be very difficult to start amending that chart to have other larger cities, because we're not referencing North Carolina specifically, we're referencing peer cities.
Yeah, I understand. I would argue kind of that Raleigh, while maybe not population size, it's not as big as Charlotte, but I think what they're doing is, and even at one point, was comparable to where we're at. They all have to start somewhere, and to be able to see it in terms of, the population and the staffing and the budget, I think would be helpful.
Okay. All right, I'll see if I can get those numbers. Okay, anything else on this page?
The only thing I have is not really just wondering if we should separate. I love our mission statement. I know it's included in the opening paragraph of the context, or the second paragraph of context, but it might be cool to put it, separate as a mission statement, in that introductory page where we put what is public art and the economic case for public art. It might be nice just to have, just pull it out, Kelly, and just have it as our mission statement so people see that, boom, immediately.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like a pull quote.
Yeah, just because, just about anything professional, people look for that mission statement. That mission statement is always right there in the table of contents or whatever. You guys okay with that? Agree or disagree? I like it.
Fine with that.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay. Okay. Do you want to move on to the next page?
Sure.
I have a change under the public art vision. Several people want us to be more specific about highlighting Black, Latino, and artists of color.
Mm-hmm.
Not just saying, diverse community, but just being more specific. Does anybody have an opinion on the word Latino? The word Latinx has been floating around, but from what I understand, it's not very much used in the Latino community. So
I would say to use the terminology BIPOC, which refers to Black, Indigenous, and people of color.
Yeah.
And that include, when you talking about people of color, it includes Latinx.
Is it enough to say artists, people of color, or artists of color? Would that include everybody without having to give designations, or how do you feel?
It does. It does. Yeah, BIPOC is kind of a standard acronym to include artists of color.
Right, I know. I'm just saying, would making the statement just including highlighting artists of color, does that include the people you're referencing, the group you're referencing, Dara, and all artists of color? Is that enough just to say that artists of color?
I would use BIPOC only because that's what's being used in a lot of research and kind of publications on the inclusion of artists and people of color.
Okay, how's that spelled?
Capital BIPOC.
Yeah.
And that includes Black, Indigenous, and people of color.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not one that I was familiar with, so I'm glad you brought that up.
There's nothing. Is there anything else on here? Next page, captions again, and then I added science, nature, and history under educational, just because, just to make it consistent, because that's mentioned later in the plan. And then getting into goals and actions. I don't think anything changes on goal 1. Goal 2 is just some updating on that figure 3, Winston-Salem Portrait Project, 2021 completion, adding some dates. And then in this paragraph down here, this came out of one of our public meetings, was an idea to also investigate whether companies that are receiving incentives should do something with public art. Like if you are going to get money from the city or county, maybe you could better fit in with the community by doing public art at your place of business, or and then you can see the actual recommendation. It's 2.7 is those companies receiving incentive funding to include public art on their property or make a contribution to the Public Art Commission in lieu of managing their own public art project. So it'd be kind of like what the Lidl thing did, and that's how we ended up paying for the Otter tank. And this was actually recommended by the former head of the Chamber of Commerce, Gail Anderson. We just kind of talked to one of the assistant city managers about this, and he was fine with the recommendation to, it's a recommendation to explore it. So.
Yeah, this is Dara. I think that's a great recommendation. I've always talked to people who own their, who are even opening up small businesses and they're wanting to incorporate public art some kind of a way. So to be able to give them a mechanism to do that would be
yeah.
great.
Yeah, that's great.
And then you can see 2.4. This is an addition that was kind of inspired by one of the other assistant city managers. You know, he had a question about, you know, that the county public art projects have been funded largely through donations. And he said, oh, we should do that. Maybe we should think about doing that. So I threw that in there. So we might have, you know, possibly some funding streams in the future by looking at these different areas. Then goal 3. You can see the sentence or a couple sentences added down there about having a wall that's dedicated to mural painting. I know we have that, like, what is it, free expression wall or something down in Winston Square Park. You know, it might be something like that, or just to highlight that area, or do this somewhere else. That some communities have walls that are kind of dedicated to mural painting. The one that was talked about in this public meeting, or in the survey possibly, is in Atlanta, and I did a little more research on it, and it's not actually like a legal thing. It's a tunnel owned by CSX or Norfolk Southern or something like that, and people just go down and paint in there, and the railroad doesn't seem to care, and if the railroad doesn't care, the police don't care. So it's been for decades now a place where people just paint and paint and paint, and they paint over murals, and they just but that could be an interesting thing, maybe a city or county owned wall that could serve that purpose. And then that pops up as 3.8 in the actions.
Got it.
We can keep moving if you'd like. I don't think there are anything really of substance in goal 4. Goal 5. Nothing of substance there either.
So, okay.
And then public art projects for the next decade. This is our section on different projects. Somebody was very passionate about the art district.
Mm-hmm.
They were just saying, you know, could really use a refresh up here. A lot of this stuff is on the older side. It's fading out. You know, maybe we should pay closer attention to it. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, we have the strollway in there, the strollway pedestrian path, the north-south pedestrian path, and having where it crosses over different streets. So it occurred to me, maybe we should add the Salem Parkway multi-use path. This is the one that's parallel to Old Business 40 that they're building now. And then I deleted the 9th Street Industry Hill water tank just because it has that fresh coat of paint on it. And brand new logo, so it doesn't look like it's going to be needing or repainting in the next 10 years anyway. So let's just concentrate on other projects.
It looks good. I can see it out my window.
It looks very
out your window, yeah. Can we get a better picture of it out your window?
Yeah, I can see it out the window. It's right there.
No, I'm saying, can we get a better picture of it?
No, I've deleted it out. I've just taken it, and you can't. I guess you can't really tell. There's like a red line under it or something. That means it's deleted.
Gotcha.
It's gone. They should make it an X. They should just X out the photo. And then let's see if there's anything else. Some captions. I think that's it. And then the implementation schedule is just updated to the new numbers and, you know, the additional recommendations.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
Yeah, it looks great.
Does anybody have any other questions, edits, issues?
Kelly, you've just done an amazing job on this. I'm just really impressed with the detail and the comprehensive look at everything. I think everybody that's had input has done a great job as well, but I want to thank everybody for getting this done.
Absolutely. Again, Kelly, I know it's been a long-term project for you. I mean, I can't remember when you started it. It's been a while, so it's great.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it's really, I've enjoyed working on it.
Excellent. Yeah. Any other, Dare, anybody, any other chance? This is our last chance, right? I mean, we got to.
Yeah, this is going to go, I'll do some edits. It's going to go up, you know, to, you know, my boss's boss probably, and he'll probably tinker with something in there, and then we'll have the public hearing on October 6th.
Okay. So time-wise, can you wait till our next meeting to officially adopt this or vote on it, since we don't have a quorum today, or do we need to do that?
That's what we'll do. So it'll be, you know, I'll post this online, and then people can come to that meeting and they can express their thoughts about it.
Okay.
I saw, let me see. I saw Wendy Earl. I don't know if she's still here. Oh, there she is. If you all are done with the public art plan section of the agenda, we could go to the public comment period.
Okay.
I don't know if Wendy has anything she wants to talk about. Hi, Wendy. Do you have?
No, I was just, hi there.
Hey,
Just
Wendy.
listening in and enjoying hearing the updates.
Great. Wendy's been helping with the Memory Wall project,
Excellent.
which has a deadline next Friday, I think. So,
Oh, hopefully we get some good applicants.
yeah.
So, yeah, thanks for Wendy for doing that, for helping out.
Yeah, of course, it was Sika's project originally, so it makes sense that we're helping out in some ways.
Great. We really appreciate it. Well, I'm sorry there's not a lot of folks here today, but good. I'm glad we got to at least look at that.
Okay, that's okay. And I will just kind of reply all on the email and just say, hey, if you weren't able to make the meeting and you have something to add, please do. And then we'll get this thing fixed up.
Right. One quick thing, Kelly, if you don't mind, the on the BIPOC, BIPOC,
Yeah.
if we could put in parentheses after that what that stands for. I was referencing a New York Times article that says there's been a lot of confusion. A lot of people think it's by people of color.
Yeah.
People don't understand. But I think it's a great suggestion from Dara if we just kind of just spell it out and say what it.
Yeah, agreed. That was kind of, I think, the intention.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Yeah, you're welcome. We want to be perfectly clear. But I thanks for that comment, though, Dara. That's great. Super. All right, guys, thanks so much. Anything else? I mean, we can't do anything else on the agenda, I guess, officially, but I can officially say thank you all for participating.
I guess so. Yeah. Anybody else?
Adjournment.
It's called for adjournment, yeah.
All right.
Anybody second that?
This is Dara, second.
All right. Great. Well, let's call the meeting adjourned, and we will see you guys. When is it? October the 6th?
October 6th.
October 6th. All right.
Thank you all.
All right, wonderful. Thank you.
In the
Thanks,
meantime-
everybody.
All right, guys. All right. Bye.
Bye.